The pressure refuses to let up. The entire automotive world is watching this unfold. And while plenty of enthusiasts have sided with Bugatti on this debate, Matt Armstrong just did something unprecedented. For the second consecutive time, he has publicly called out the hypercar giant. But this time he went far beyond a simple reply. After responding to Rimac in the comment section back in May, Matt has now released a complete video breakdown addressing Bugatti's CEO directly. What he revealed exposes massive holes in Rimac's safety argument, contradictions that the manufacturers simply cannot explain away. Matt opened his response video with genuine disbelief that Mate Rimac, the actual chief executive of Bugatti, created an entire video responding to his Chiron rebuild. The absurdity of the situation wasn't lost on him. Just 5 years ago, he was rebuilding a salvaged Audi TT in a restaurant parking lot, working with basic tools and zero industry connections. Now, the CEO of a billion-dollar hypercar manufacturer is publicly addressing his content. That trajectory alone tells you everything about how far Matt's channel has grown and why this rebuild has captured global attention. But Matt made something crystal clear from the start. He has no interest in creating drama or manufacturing beef with Bugatti or Rimac personally. This isn't about ego or clout chasing. He respects what Bugatti represents in automotive engineering and openly acknowledges they produce some of the finest hypercars available anywhere in the world. His goal remains singular and simple. He wants to rebuild this crashed Chiron to the absolute best of his ability while documenting every step of the process for his audience. The fact that Rimac felt compelled to respond publicly, creating an entire video addressing Matt's project, reveals something significant. This rebuild has gotten under Bugatti's skin in ways they can no longer ignore. An independent builder working from a Miami workshop has forced a corporate response from one of the most exclusive automotive brands on the planet. Matt immediately addressed the headlight pricing controversy that sparked so much debate across the community. Rimac claimed the rumored $150,000 headlight price tag floating around was completely false. According to him, Bugatti charges approximately $20,000 for Chiron headlights, still expensive but nowhere near the astronomical figures being discussed. Here's where the problem emerges, and it's a significant one. Matt cannot purchase headlights from Bugatti because they refuse to sell components to him. The only third-party source Matt could locate quoted him $150,000 for a set of Chiron headlights. Whether Bugatti's internal pricing sits at $20,000 or not becomes entirely irrelevant when Matt has absolutely zero access to that price point. He's locked out of the official supply chain completely. Then Matt questioned Rimac's justification that these headlights cost tens of millions to develop. His skepticism was evident. Tens of millions of dollars to engineer a headlight that turns on and off? The comparison he offered put things in perspective. Lamborghini Aventador SVJ headlights cost around $7,000. Still expensive by normal automotive standards. Certainly not cheap, but nowhere remotely close to what Bugatti charges for functionally similar lighting components. If Bugatti genuinely cared about ensuring this Chiron gets rebuilt safely with proper components, they would sell those headlights at their standard $20,000 price point. That would guarantee Matt uses authentic Bugatti parts, rather than forcing him toward $150,000 alternatives of questionable origin and unknown quality sourced through gray market channels. What came next might be the most significant revelation in Matt's entire response. He dropped a bombshell about the airbag systems that completely undermines the foundation of Rimac's safety argument. During his video, Rimac spent considerable time explaining how Chiron airbags are specifically calibrated for that particular vehicle. He described precise dashboard deployment characteristics meticulously tested across different temperature ranges. The implication was clear. Only genuine Bugatti airbag components could possibly function safely in a Chiron because they're uniquely engineered for that exact application. Matt's counter-revelation shattered that narrative entirely. The airbag module in the Chiron, as far as he can determine, appears identical to an Audi A3 airbag unit. The part numbers match exactly. The bow hole patterns are exactly the same. It's a standard Volkswagen Audi Group component found across multiple vehicles in their lineup. If the Chiron's airbag module genuinely cross-references to an Audi A3 with matching part numbers and identical mounting points, how can Rimac credibly claim that only Bugatti-specific airbags will function safely in this vehicle. This aligns precisely with the point that FX Alex G made in his earlier comment on the situation. These airbag components reference standard Volkswagen Group parts used across numerous platforms. They're not bespoke Bugatti engineering, developed exclusively for the Chiron. They're shared components from the corporate parts bin. Mate acknowledged openly that he doesn't have the budget to conduct dashboard deployment testing at every conceivable temperature the way Bugatti's engineering teams would during development. He's not pretending to match their resources or capabilities. But his logical solution cuts through the complexity. If he purchases a genuine Bugatti dashboard separately and a genuine Bugatti airbag module separately, both proper OEM components, then the airbag should deploy exactly as it would from the factory because he's using original equipment parts designed to work together. The system would function identically to any factory Chiron. This exposes a fundamental contradiction in Bugatti's position. Mate wants to use proper OEM parts throughout this rebuild. He's not trying to cut corners with cheap knockoffs or dangerous substitutes. Bugatti simply refuses to sell those parts to him, then criticizes him for potentially using non-OEM alternatives. Mate exposed what might be the single biggest contradiction in Bugatti's entire stance on this rebuild. In America, when a vehicle is crashed and totaled by insurance, it receives one of two designations. Either it gets a rebuild title, or it receives a certificate of destruction. These classifications mean very different things legally and practically. A certificate of destruction means the vehicle has been deemed irreparable and can never legally return to road use. It's finished, done, beyond saving by any reasonable standard. The car is destined for part salvage or crushing, nothing more. A rebuild title carries completely different implications. It means the vehicle can be repaired and legally returned to road use once it meets state inspection requirements. Here's the critical detail Mate highlighted. Bugatti's own technician inspected this crashed Chiron for insurance assessment purposes. That technician had full authority to certify for destruction if they genuinely believed it was too dangerous for anyone to repair safely. They made a professional evaluation and issued a rebuild title instead. Mate's logic is airtight on this point. If Bugatti's own representative determined this car could be sold at public auction with a rebuild title attached, then it must be safe enough to return to the road through proper repair work. That's literally what the rebuild title designation means. This single fact completely demolishes Rimac's safety argument. Bugatti's trained technician, someone who understands Chirons better than almost anyone on the planet, assessed the specific vehicle and determined it was reparable. Bugatti cannot credibly claim now that the car is too dangerous for independent repair when their own expert already certified it as fixable. The rebuild title proves definitively that this Chiron isn't beyond saving. It requires proper repair work, certainly, which is exactly what Mate is attempting. If safety was genuinely Bugatti's primary concern, their technician would have issued a certificate of destruction to permanently remove this chassis from any possibility of road use. They didn't. They cleared it for rebuilding. Mate introduced a fascinating comparison that reveals how other hypercar manufacturers handle crashed vehicles differently. He referenced what happens when a Koenigsegg gets crashed. The Swedish manufacturer typically purchases crash examples back from insurance companies before they ever reach public auction. Koenigsegg then either repairs the vehicles themselves under factory supervision or removes them from circulation entirely. This approach gives them complete control over how their damaged vehicles get handled, eliminating any concerns about substandard independent repairs. Bugatti didn't buy FX Alex G's crashed Chiron back. They allowed it to proceed to public auction at Copart, where literally anyone with sufficient funds could bid. FX Alex G won the auction at $1.6 million plus fees, totaling approximately $1.9 million all in. The car went to him fair and square through an open public process. If Bugatti genuinely believed the specific Chiron was too dangerous for any independent party to repair safely, they had a clear path to prevent that outcome. They should have purchased it themselves at auction and kept it in-house. The fact that they chose not to reveal something important about their true motivations. This isn't fundamentally about safety at all. It's about Bugatti not wanting to spend money buying back crash cars while simultaneously refusing to support independent repairs in any meaningful way. They want it both ways. Let the cars go to auction to avoid buyback costs, then deny parts and support to whoever purchases them. That position is completely indefensible when they're simultaneously claiming concern about public safety. You cannot have genuine safety concerns about a vehicle you voluntarily allowed into independent hands. Speaking of Koenigsegg, Mate's mention raises an interesting question about what else might be developing behind the scenes. Longtime viewers will remember Mate previously talking about a package he received from the Swedish hypercar manufacturer. Is something brewing there for the future? That's speculation for another day, but it's worth keeping in mind as Mate's profile continues rising in the exotic car world. While this public back and forth between Mate and Bugatti continues playing out across social media, the actual physical work proceeds in Miami. Mate's operating out of CV Customs facility where the Chiron has been systematically stripped down to its bare carbon fiber monocoque. The extent of damage revealed during teardown is substantial. The aluminum front structure is heavily mangled from impact forces. All 4 radiators sustain damage and require replacement. Multiple mounting points show cracks from crash stress. Body panels throughout the car are destroyed. Perhaps most concerning, the transmission shows potential compromise and requires thorough evaluation. Mate mentioned needing to split the car completely in half to access the gearbox properly. During his response video, Rimac claimed only 2 facilities worldwide possess the proper equipment and expertise to perform that procedure correctly. Mate's response captured his entire approach to this project. He's going to try it anyway. Not attempting something because it seems impossible means never discovering whether you could actually achieve it. You miss every shot you don't take, and Mate has no intention of letting the difficulty level stop him from at least making the effort. This mentality separates Mate's project from typical exotic car rebuilds. He's not making any claims of guaranteed success or factory-level perfection. He's attempting something the manufacturer insists is impossible while documenting every failure and breakthrough along the way. His audience gets to witness genuine problem-solving, real setbacks, and authentic triumphs rather than polished content presenting only successful outcomes. Mate raised another critical point that Rimac completely ignored during his response, one that has worked successfully for other manufacturers. The solution is straightforward: liability documentation and warranty exclusion. When Mate rebuilt his Lamborghini Aventador previously, Lamborghini agreed to supply parts for the project. However, they explicitly voided all warranty coverage and accepted zero responsibility for the final rebuild quality. They sold the components with clear documentation that Mate accepted complete liability for outcomes. That arrangement worked for everyone. Lamborghini made part sales, Mate got proper components, and liability transferred appropriately. Mate suggested precisely this approach could work for the Chiron situation. What if there was a pathway where Bugatti supplies proper parts, but Mate assumes full responsibility for the rebuilt car, completely wiping their hands of any future liability? This is exactly how numerous manufacturers already handle independent rebuild situations. Sell the required parts, document clearly that warranty coverage is void, customer accepts complete liability going forward. It's not complicated or unprecedented. Mate provided a perfect real-world example through his friend James's project. They rebuilt a Porsche GT3 RS using all factory-sourced components throughout the process. James then took the completed car to an authorized Porsche dealership for comprehensive inspection. The car passed every evaluation they performed. Porsche actually reinstated warranty coverage on the rebuilt vehicle because it met their quality standards despite being independently repaired. Consider what that means. Porsche, a manufacturer of extremely high-performance track-capable vehicles, actively supports independent rebuilds through part sales. If the finished work meets their inspection standards, they'll even restore warranty coverage. If Porsche can take this approach with their performance cars, why can't Bugatti? The GT3 RS is genuinely dangerous at the limit. It's designed for track use, reaches extreme speeds, and pushes engineering boundaries. Porsche still supplies parts for salvage rebuilds and inspects the finished work. The only logical conclusion is that Bugatti doesn't want to enable independent rebuilds under any circumstances, regardless of safety outcomes, quality standards, or liability protections. This appears to be a corporate policy issue, not a genuine safety concern. The current status of the project remains in progress. The Chiron sits in pieces at CV Customs in Miami, gradually moving toward reassembly despite every obstacle placed in its path. Matt continues sourcing alternative parts through whatever channels he can access because Bugatti maintains their refusal to sell components directly. The rebuild progresses regardless of corporate opposition, documentation capturing every step for the millions watching worldwide. Now, with Matt's complete video response available for the world to see, the entire automotive community can compare both sides of this debate directly. Watch what Rimac claimed about safety, engineering, and liability concerns. Then watch Matt systematically address each point with evidence, logic, and real-world examples that contradict the official narrative. Decide for yourself who's actually being genuine about safety concerns and who's using those concerns as convenient cover for protecting corporate interests above all else. This Chiron saga continues evolving with every passing week, and the intensity only increases as the project moves forward. The question everyone wants answered remains unchanged. Can Matt Armstrong actually rebuild this crashed Chiron and return to roadworthy condition despite Bugatti's complete refusal to provide support? The answer gets closer with every video, every part sourced, every problem solved. The world keeps watching because nobody knows for certain how this ends, and that uncertainty makes every development compelling viewing. Matt against Bugatti. Independent builder against corporate giant. The underdog story the automotive world didn't know it needed continues unfolding.